The biggest wins in golf are supposed to end with a trophy, a smile, and a celebration. The crowd goes crazy. The cameras flash. The champion lifts the trophy while everyone around him celebrates the moment they worked so hard to create. But what happens when the celebration ends and the people behind the victory start asking questions? Because right now, one story has the golf world talking. Chris Gotterup is having the kind of season every young golfer dreams about. 3 PGA Tour wins in 2026, a massive rise in the rankings, a name that went from being overlooked to being impossible to ignore. But behind the scenes, there are questions about loyalty, money, and the people who helped him get there. And the biggest question is this: when a player reaches the top, who deserves to share the reward? Before we get into it, let me know your opinion. Should players give more to the people who helped them rise, or should contracts always be respected? Drop your thoughts below. And if you want the latest PGA stories, drama, and updates before anyone else, make sure you subscribe to Next PGA Updates. Now let's get into what happened. A few years ago, Chris Gotterup was not a household name. He wasn't the guy everyone was watching on leaderboards. He wasn't the player sponsors were fighting over. He was simply another golfer trying to survive the grind. Coming out of Rutgers, Gotterup took the long road. He turned professional in 2022 and worked his way through the Korn Ferry Tour, where countless players chase the same dream: make it to the PGA Tour. Stay there. Prove you belong. For many golfers, that journey never reaches the finish line. But for Gotterup, something changed. The confidence came, the results came, and suddenly, people started paying attention. His breakthrough moment came at the 2025 Genesis Scottish Open, where he went head-to-head with one of golf's biggest names, Rory McIlroy, and proved he could compete with the best. That victory changed everything. He was no longer just a promising young player. He became a serious threat. Then came 2026, and this is where things went to another level. 3 victories in one season: the Sony Open, the WM Phoenix Open, and the John Deere Classic. The most impressive part wasn't just winning, it was how he finished, under pressure, with everything on the line. When the biggest moments arrived, Gotterup delivered. That's the difference between talented players and elite players. Talent gets you noticed, but performing when millions of people are watching is what creates stars. And that's exactly what Gotterup was becoming. His ranking exploded, moving from outside the top 200 into the top 15 range. A rise like that doesn't happen by accident. It happens because everything starts working together. The swing, the mindset, the preparation, and the people around you. Because every great golfer has a team behind them. And one of the most important people on that team is the person carrying the bag, the caddy. For Gotterup, one important figure during his rise has been Brady Stockton. Stockton wasn't just there to hand him clubs. A great caddy does much more than that. They read the course, they help with decisions, they calm players down when pressure starts taking over. Because golf is not only physical, it's mental. A single bad decision can change an entire tournament. One wrong club, one aggressive shot, one moment of panic. That's where trust between a player and caddy becomes everything. A caddy is often the person standing beside the player when nobody else can help. They see the bad rounds, the missed cuts, the frustration, the moments when confidence disappears. And when a player finally breaks through, that journey is shared. That's why the relationship between players and caddies has always been complicated. Because the player gets the trophy, the player gets the interview, the player gets the millions, but the caddy is right there for every shot. Now, this is where the story gets interesting. Reports and discussions around the golf world have raised questions about whether certain members of Gotterup's team feel properly recognized after his incredible rise. And that has opened a much bigger conversation. What is fair? In professional golf, caddy compensation is usually based on agreements between the player and caddy. Often, caddies receive a percentage of winnings, especially after victories. But sometimes, the issue isn't only about the money. Sometimes it's about appreciation. It's about feeling like the person who helped you climb the mountain is still valued after you reach the top. And that's why this situation has caught so much attention. Because this isn't just a golf story. It's a story about relationships, about loyalty, about success changing everything around you. When a player is struggling, everyone celebrates the people who helped them survive. But when that same player becomes a superstar, expectations change. The spotlight gets brighter, the money gets bigger, and suddenly, every decision gets analyzed. For Gotterup, this moment could become an important part of his career, not because of a single tournament, not because of a single trophy, but because fans always remember how athletes treat the people who helped them get there. The PGA Tour is filled with stories of partnerships between players and caddies that lasted years. Relationships built on trust, but they also show how quickly things can become complicated when success arrives. So now, everyone is watching. Will this situation be resolved privately? Will both sides find common ground? Or will this become another example of how difficult it can be to balance business and loyalty in professional sports? Right now, there are still more questions than answers. But one thing is clear, Chris Gotterup has become one of golf's most exciting young stars. And as his career continues to grow, every decision away from the course will matter just as much as every shot on it. Because winning a trophy shows what kind of golfer you are, but how you handle success shows what kind of person you are. So what do you think? Should successful players reward the people who help them reach the top? Or should everyone simply stick to the original agreement? Let me know your opinion. And for more PGA Tour stories, breaking updates, and behind-the-scenes golf drama, subscribe to Next PGA Updates. Because in golf, the final putt is never always the end of the story.